Is sponsored by Shenanigans Sports Pub.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to a pre-weekend edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, streaming to you live on the South Florida Live pages, Facebook, YouTube. Come join us, subscribe, like, tell all your friends, and also later on the Oldies South Florida Radio Network. 8 p.m. is the airing of that. We welcome to the show, gentlemen, our second time today, Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz. I have changed out of my gambling gourmet degenerate Friday outfit into my get ready to eat and drink all weekend lunchbox.
Nice.
Outfit.
Where are you starting out, Mike Mayo? Where are you going to be to start it out?
I'm eating Dickstein for a little lunch at guess where? Costas. We're going to show them the ways of the beautiful Greek New York pizza / Greek food. We're gonna have.
Didn't he turn you on to that place though? Dickstein was the guy that brought you in the first place.
No, it was Dr. T, Dr. Tranicus.
Okay.
Well, actually, it was the Facebook group. Let's Eat South Florida. People started going there, and then there was buzz about it. And then Dr. T, who is Greek 100%, gave it the thumbs up. And anything that he likes, he's a foodie guide that I follow because he has good taste. And that's the kind of people you want to just kind of latch onto. When you're in my world, there's people that whose recommendations you treat like gospel, and then there are others like I'm not going to say any names here because Lubie's actually been pretty good. His places are good. Jeff Diva DeForest, yep, you're good too. So I'm not going to disparage anybody today. I'm in a good mood. And
yeah. What happened to you? Like I said, I mean, I used to worry that this was the way I was going to check out. Was I going to be riding my wave runner down the Intercoastal years ago when I used to do that on a frequent basis and get hit in the head with a coconut. And I believe that something like that might. Were you walking with B Mayo somewhere and a coconut came down and you deflected it with your noggin? Because night and day difference from the bitterness that we're used to and accustomed to coming from you, especially early in a show before you get rolling. You seem like Mr. Jolly all of a sudden. It's great.
Well, it's Friday. We got the good weekend of activities and racing. And it wasn't a coconut that hit me in the head. It was a mango because today is actually, as Jim Sarney tells me, National Mango Day. And that's one of the fruits that we were talking about, I think, me and Lubie at one point, that I never used to really like mangoes.
Mangoes are great.
Foods that I always had to eat as a food critic because a lot of the chefs down here with
they love
the Floridian cuisine, and that they actually called it the Mango Gang back in the day. That first wave of chefs that put South Florida, Miami on the map. They were known as the Mango Gang because they used a lot of the fruits and tropical fruits like mangoes in all their like fish dishes and things like that. And anyway, I've gotten accustomed to mangoes, and I've gotten to love mangoes, especially when it's in that mango creme brulee donut that they have at my local Bake Shack. And you and the lovely Cheryl eventually ate that delicacy, Lubie?
Spectacular! Oh my God, I held on to it as long as I could. That was amazing. What a great invention. You get the mango flavor. And also, I like the way they do donuts because a lot of times donuts can be too much, and it's just a slight sweetness. With the mango, it was a perfect combination.
No, Keith Fryman, who's the proprietor chef there at Bake Shack in Dania, not to be confused with Bang Shack in Hollywood, and we love Jason and his chicken dip, but Bake Shack, yeah, Keith is a really accomplished pastry chef, and so he has got all those like the balance right, the technique right, all his stuff is good, and and Defo, yeah, so maybe a little mango hit me in the head. The crop
too soft to have brought this kind of epiphany and change and just metamorphosis about. I mean, it would have to be something along the lines of a coconut. Something that had some kind of, power to it, and it's great. They're awakening. I did want to say this. It's funny about Costas because now, I'm turning people on to Costas since you turned me on to it, and I think it's fantastic. And every time I tell somebody about it, it's like, oh, yeah, we've been going there forever. Which I don't know if you ever find out about a place like you just discovered a place and you're
Right.
thinking this is the greatest thing. I want to turn everybody onto it. Happened to me with the Fish Shack, not even Keel Fish Shack, although that's great also. But when I first discovered this place, the Fish Shack, many years ago, Lighthouse Point, it was like I couldn't wait to tell people about it or take them there, and now everybody says the same. Yeah, yeah. I've been going there forever. So I don't know if that happens to you when you. It's like I hadn't heard of the place, and I get around a little bit in the restaurant biz, as you know. I mean, I've eaten a zillion different places. I've been here 40-something years, but everybody's been there already. And then with the mango, people come up to you sometimes. You're probably starting to find this now that you're doing these outside remotes where they go, "Hey, yeah, you're Mike Mayo, man. I listen to the Lunchbox every day. You're great. I liked it when you were a sports writer. Well, whatever." And then they want to lay stuff on you. They want to like give you stuff. So this one guy who I should know his name. He's got like some track nickname that I can't place, but I've known a guy for a long time, seen him off and on at the various racetracks I've attended. He's waiting for me outside of Hialeah Park one day after I finished up the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge, and he says, "These are the greatest mangoes that you will ever have. They came from my tree." Now I'm reluctant to accept like food items from people for some reason.
You think they're
And yeah, I mean, who the hell knows where they got
Mustang
it from
could
or
be your
whatever.
taster. Just make Mustang the
All
taster.
day.
Well, I don't know. They'll be even more reluctant maybe to accept something coming from that direction right now. But anyway, he gives me these mangoes, and I have to say that they were sensational. Like they really were the best mangoes I ever had. And then the next time he comes out, he had made like mango jam. And it was absolutely great. So I always like that when people here in South Florida take advantage of whatever fruit trees they have and make something that turns out to be really scrumptious and delicious out of it, which, I've become like a giant mango fan after that experience with this one particular gentleman.
Well, that's nice. And again, I have been more eager to try and eat things with mango in them. It wasn't the flavor so much; it's just the actual like fruit. Sometimes it has a little stringy texture, and I don't know. Some people have a reaction to mangoes. I think my mother did.
It's a little
And that
messy
always-
sometimes
that-
too.
that
To eat.
always, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Can be
that's
messy,
never
but
stopped me.
whatever, who
That's
cares?
never stopped
Yeah,
me.
yeah, really. What am I talking to here? Lubie and Mayo. My God.
I
Oh,
was
it's a
gonna
little
say,
messy.
you kidding me? That wouldn't stop me.
Like it's
Oh.
Emily freaking Post. What are you kidding
What
me?
excite me?
Speaking of messy,
Wally
not,
Post.
Messi, the soccer player, but Messi eating. No, actually, it was such a blast. We missed you yesterday, Defo, out at Cleveland's Ice Cream. Boy, did we have a blast with the Visit Lauderdale crew and Neki Mohan. And
Did she
actually
start right out eating though? Because I
Yes.
believe
No.
that I flipped on my phone for a second
wait.
and I saw the
Mayo,
show.
she
and
did. She got ice cream
She
before we were
did.
she
on.
came out of the chute
got
with
ice
like
cream
a chocolate sundae or something.
Before Cleveland like regaled us with that huge chafing dish full of ice cream of every flavor under the sun, and that's everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun, every scoop under the sun. The Visit Lauderdale people, we love them. Yeah, before we started the show,
She had ice cream.
Cleveland scooped her a little dish of just a little kind of sampling of. They had a vegan rum raisin because she's a big
I
rum
knew it.
raisin
I knew it
fan.
was rum raisin. I knew
And
it
then
right
she
away.
also got a little bit of scoop of one of their other Caribbean specialty flavors is the bun and cheese, which Cleveland was
Bun
explaining
and
is a big
cheese.
bun and
Wow.
cheese is a big traditional Easter dish. It's kind of a dessert. It has kind of a cinnamon bun quality, and they mix it up with some. So he made an ice cream flavor out of it, and that's kind of this twist that you find there at Cleveland's. That's on Miramar Parkway, and but yeah, so he made that little dish for Nikki right before we went on the air, and she had that little dish going. You're right, Lubie. I forgot that she was digging in, and she took 2 doses of Lactaid before the show because she has, I guess, some sensitivities to some of the ice cream and dairy products. And it's funny for somebody who's sensitive to dairy. Every time we say, "Well, where are we going to go next week?" It seems invariably we've been to like ice cream shops every other week, and I don't mind because I think ice cream is one of the major food groups, especially in summertime. So it was great by me. And she says she's a little lactose intolerant, and I said I'm lactose adjacent because anytime you put a tub of ice cream next to me, I'm going to be just digging into it.
I've been like Luganis, man. You're unbelievable. Now, do you remember? And I don't know. Do these ice cream? Do they still serve ice cream at Howard Johnson's? Remember
There
when
are no
Howard
more
Johnson
Hojos
was
Yeah,
left.
Howard
no
Johnson
more,
is-
none,
Johnson
not
is-
I
even
think
one.
the last Howard Johnson's went out of business earlier this year. I don't know if
That
it
was
was
a
still
big
up in
treat to go to Howard Johnson's. Yeah.
Danvers, Massachusetts might have been the birthplace, and
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
that was the lone one hanging on. I could be making things up, but I read something earlier this year that the last one did finally close its doors, and all of us who loved the clam strips and then their mint chip ice cream was my favorite dessert. at
Pistachio
Howard
was great
Johnson's.
there too.
Yeah.
Pistachio.
But
Always good.
Cleveland made a fantastic mint chip. Lubie, you took some of that home, right?
I didn't take any of the mint
What
chips.
didn't Lubie take home? This is another question because he kind of poo-pooed it a little bit. Because they gave Mayo a couple of things ice cream. I took
No,
like
I didn't take anything. I had to
home.
go up
Oh,
to
you
a
did.
meeting in Delray with Dickstein, and it was all going to melt. So Cleveland was very generous. He was like, "Oh, come take it." I was like, "I can't. It's all going to melt. I'm not going home." He goes, "You come back." So I have to go back there, which is, there's
is the
worse
worst
things
thing.
than having to go back and get some complimentary ice cream. I'm always willing to pay for it too because his product is one of those things that's worth.
Not
paying
as
for,
willing as
but-
you are to accept it for free, though. I mean, let's be honest about it, Mike Mayo. You're talking to
Hey.
the choir here, man. I mean, for sure.
So I want to give a couple of shout outs and
All right.
thank yous as we head into the weekend here on the Lunchbox. First of all, believe it or not, we're going to be having, usually we do this show live, but we're going to be doing a taping for next week because I'm going to be out of commission on Wednesday. So tomorrow, if anybody's around,
Colonoscopy? Don't say it's the big C.
no, it's
That's
not
what it
that
is.
one. Well, let's not get into the nitty gritty. It's they're going down there somewhere, and things are going to be unpleasant.
All right.
A day. But anyway, the Ken, the professor, gracious enough, I said, the Foundry, I haven't been there in a while, and I like it. I gave it a positive review, although somewhat snarky when I was at the Sun Sentinel, because they have one of the best hamburgers in town. I love their burgers, and apparently now they have weekend brunch. So
For a
we're
while.
going to be we're going to be sitting with Ken. I don't know if he's going to come up with a big board related to food, or maybe
can't
some of the
promise
things
that.
that.
I
Okay,
can't
all
promise.
right.
All
we
he
could
has to
just-
do is show us a menu because if we're eating on his dime, that's even more fantastic.
But tomorrow, I don't know. You don't. If you are around, that's fine. But I was going to be going out there at 2:00, and we were going to just do a little
Tomorrow
taping
or
of-
Sunday? Or did I have
Tomorrow.
Saturday?
Tomorrow. They do
Tomorrow?
it
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday.
If you're out of commission, that's fine. I should discuss these things with you before the show. But sometimes it's good to be just. This
All
kind
right.
of came
If I'm
up. a
there,
bit.
I'll be happy to
Yeah.
go. You know what? I've been meaning to try it. I'm a big fan of the Foundry. I always enjoyed dining there. I haven't really been for a while,
It's great,
but it's always good and nice.
It's a lot
Casual
better than-
outside.
a lot better. I like it a lot better than that other place across the street. That name that begins with H. That doesn't serve you
Houston's,
Bloody
yeah.
Mary on
That's
the
my
weekends.
name. They don't
You know,
On
it's
the
funny.
weekdays.
When Ken first invested in the Foundry, and that place used to be sort of a long-standing fish market, and they converted it to a restaurant. And the guy that is partners with Ken owns a couple of other places on that street, right, Lubie?
Yeah,
So and he said he was going to invest. He was looking for a restaurant to invest in. The professor. And all of a sudden, it was like, okay, we're opening the Foundry. And I thought they would just get cremated being across the street from Houston's. And I believe it's quite the opposite, actually, because
Yeah.
Houston's had all the edge. They were established and they were on the water. And most people really liked it. But as they sort of went into some kind of sourpuss mode in terms of treating their customers and really didn't do much to justify having this kind of attitude in terms of change, the Foundry took over, and now when you look, I mean, there's nobody there at the Valet at Houston's, and the Foundry's jamming all the time. So
Well, it seems
kind of
to
an
me-
interesting business development.
Houston's, I guess, is still wildly successful. I mean, they have restaurants, and it seems like there are always waits there. But the one in Pompano, the last time I went there, they were also not as much.
Dead
as a
city, my
wait.
friend.
And
Dead city.
I could understand why, because Ken and his partners at the Foundry are in the hospitality business,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
the people at Houston's now seem to be in the rules business and the business of saying no. Like, no, you can't have that, and no, we don't have this, and no, you can't have a table more than 5, and no, you can't, wear your whatever flip flop. I mean, God bless them. You could set when you're the owner, your house, your rules. I accept that, but I also have a choice. So now, if I want to get a Bloody Mary on a Tuesday afternoon when I happen to be in vacation mode, I know I'm going to go to the Foundry and get any drink I want, as opposed to the place across the street where they say, "Oh no, we only have that on weekends." I was like, "Oh yeah, of course," because there's no leisure class in Florida that's like retired and would want to have maybe a cocktail with lunch overlooking the.
And it's so hard to find Bloody Mary mix. I mean,
So
it
yeah,
just
I am
becomes
bashing
impossible,
Houston's
yeah.
hard, and again, that's the beauty of South Florida. Everybody has a choice. Houston still has its still big devoted fans, including our friend Evan Darnell of the Red Meat Lovers Club. He swears by Houston's. He loves their French dip sandwich and their Hawaiian prime rib, and I don't begrudge anybody that. They still make some excellent products. It's just that I'd rather go to a place where I feel more warm and welcome. Look, I'm looking forward to getting back to the Foundry because it has been a couple of years since before COVID since I've been in there, and I always have a good meal there. And I ragged on them when it first opened because they have this whole industrial motif, like they have construction workers and murals on the wall, and I was like, oh, of course, the Foundry, like Pompano Beach, has long been known for its steel industry. And I was like, I don't understand why they came up with that particular concept for a place, and making it into like a steel, like a reclaimed or old abandoned steel, the walls, the interior. Actually, they brought in, I think, brickwork from a former steel mill in the Chicago area. Which is fine. I mean, you can make up whatever theme that you want. It just, I didn't get it how it fit in with Pompano Beach, because when I think Pompano Beach, I'm more prone to think of mangoes and falling coconuts than
seafood. I mean, it was a fishing village. What was kind of the concept behind Pompano Beach? So you would think, but maybe they got tired of going to some great taxidermy and grabbing some mahi and
it was different. I was a little snarky in terms of the concept,
as you can be, Mike Mayo. Though
that's when I was a critic,
you almost had to
job.
be. I mean, you had to throw in a couple of snarky comments, otherwise people wouldn't believe it was a real review. They would think somebody else ghostwrote it for you, wrote it for you.
No, but I gave them their props, which was the food, the service. The burgers were really good, and also some of the other main courses. At the time, they had they
have a diverse menu, like wild diversity.
Raw bar stuff. They had the seafood platter, the big
they have a great happy hour too for that area. They really do a cool happy hour where prices come way down, the drink prices are down, and it's always lively.
So anyway, I'm just very glad that he accepted, that he was willing to have us do a little live, pre-taping of next week's show out there tomorrow. If anybody's around, come on out. Saturday, 2 p.m. We'll be taping. I'll be out there a little bit earlier. I think Lubie and the lovely Shirls will be out there also, and hopefully Defo can make it too. And then we'll
open check there for Lubie. Are you kidding me?
We'll
right on down Atlantic West to our favorite.
It's not out of the way. That's for sure. It's right around the corner. Yeah.
All
right. I'll try to join you if I can.
I'll put that in your radar. The other thing I want to put in everybody's radar right now is Lauder Deals, because that is going on all summer long. And again, it was great yesterday. Nikki Mohan, she always has a blast. We have a blast with her. Next week, we're going to be at a Peruvian restaurant, because July 28th, Thursday, the next Visit Lauderdale segment is going to be falling on Peruvian Independence Day, a big day on the calendar for our South American friends. And don't know, we're still firming up the details of the exact location, but we know we're going to be eating some ceviche and some of those good chaufas and the rice and all that stuff. I like Peruvian cuisine. I don't know if that's really good, Defo, but it's a little bit.
Sounds good to me. I mean, I'm always tempted to go and join you on these things, but the destination isn't always exactly convenient to my schedule here. But my sleep
well, you're
schedule.
Always welcome. Yeah. You know that, and we'll get everybody hooked up and mic'd, and we'll figure it all out. But
I couldn't eat all that ice cream, though. I mean, it wouldn't be good for me at this stage of my life. I mean, I just start scarfing ice cream with the Mayos and the Lubies and the Nikki Mohans, because you guys definitely take advantage of it. There's no question.
I love the ice cream, and I love summertime because it's the time for enjoying the good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale with the Lauder Deals. And that's the great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and more all summer long. So start planning your summer getaway online, or actually your staycation if you're local. But for those listeners and viewers around the world or the region, come on down. Fort Lauderdale Beach is just beautiful this time of year. It's actually cooler than most of the country, believe it or not. And all our hotels have air conditioning, unlike those poor Europeans who are sweltering this summer.
Wow.
You can stay cool by the pool and so much more. Just go to visitlauderdale.com/deals and see all the ways you can save. Great hotel deals on everything from luxury beach resorts to family-friendly suites. And you can indulge in the food and drink specials at restaurants, bars, and all the great local breweries that keep opening up. Shop Lauderdale for the Lauder Deals for the exciting attractions like Flamingo Gardens and Butterfly World for the kids. And if you're a Florida resident, a first responder, or in the military, you'll find even more savings just for you. So from miles of the golden beaches to pampering at celebrated spas, hotels, and resorts, the good life awaits in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Again, shop Lauderdale's now. Visit lauderdale.com/deals and enjoy your best summer vacation ever.
Great idea, though, the staycation in Florida. I mean, so many good spots, even though, you'd say, oh, well, it's all the same. It's, hot sun and water and beach. But no, a great idea to travel around. And they give you the discounts on really good hotels and restaurants. So, Lauderdale's, man. Great concept. All right, more to come. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And then that's interesting. Eric wants to know where the foundry is. It's on Atlantic Boulevard, and it is just
west of
the bridge on the Intercoastal.
Just east
Just
of
west.
US 1. Like right after you go
North
through US 1,
northwest side, yeah,
just past
and
it.
east of Federal, yeah. So you can find it pretty easily there, and it's
on the north
always
side. Of the
just
street.
look for the crowd, and you'll find it. And then look right across the street, and you'll see the empty valet there. The valet guy's like juggling bowling pins over in Houston. So, all right, coming back with more in a moment here on Mike Mayo's Friday edition of the Lunchbox.
Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for my friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95 in Dania and Fort Lauderdale. They've been there a long time, over 70 years, the Studiali family. They know how to take care of you. They have steaks, seafood, and so much more. It's old school hospitality in a relaxed, nice setting. They have the bar. They have Monday, Tuesday half-price wine night. They have all kinds of great specials. And they also have a butcher shop now that you could buy your meats anytime, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Throw it on the grill at home. They're great cuts of meat like the filet mignon, 10-ounce barrel cut, all kinds of goodies there. And, of course, the dining room, it can't be beat. They have the early bird special every day at 4:30 to 5:30. They're open daily except Sunday until 10 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like pizza? I mean, who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. A little bit hard to find in that Riverside Park neighborhood, but totally easy to love. They've got Connecticut New Haven style of pizza in a wood-fired brick oven. It's run by a team of Wade and Reese. They opened about a year ago. It's a great place. Great pizzas, subs like chicken parms, meatball appetizers, salads. Very relaxed setting, casual, outdoors, all outdoors, picnic tables. You won't even feel like you're in Fort Lauderdale. Go there. They have pickup, takeout. Call 754-779-7788. That's 754-779-7788. Pizza Spot. They're open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them that Mike Mayo and Defo sent you.
And we're back here on the Lunchbox. It's a Friday, also known as the pre-weekend, here with Defo and Lubie. And gentlemen, one more shout out. I have to give a little announcement. Congratulations, our man Tom Tanazzini, who runs the great Tom's Louisiana Kitchen food truck that it was 1 year ago that he started, and he's having a big first anniversary celebration on Saturday and Sunday outside the Nobo Brewing Company in Boynton Beach. I know it's a little far north for
Where's that,
some
like
of
Gateway
our audience.
Boulevard? You have to
Yeah,
head up
exactly.
that way?
It's like right around Gateway, and
right.
it's there's this little hub of breweries there. It's back in this warehouse district. There used to be 3 of them. One of them just closed. Due South Brewing unfortunately closed down, but Nobo Brewing is still there. Copper Pointed Brewing is there. And Tom has actually been outside of both doing various things. But this weekend, he's going full bore, classic, his Cajun Creole menu, all kinds of good stuff. If you go on his Facebook page, Tom's Louisiana Kitchen, you can see the full menu drop. And man, he's got some items there, all the things like the the gumbo and the crawfish etouffee, and he's got all these po' boys, the oysters. He's got this. He makes all these other dishes. The pork Louis Prima is something I haven't tried yet, but I'm just going to give him a shout out. I'm going to try to get up there maybe on Sunday because this is too good of an event, to miss. And sometimes he comes down to Fort Lauderdale and he sets up outside. There's a VFW hall or American Legion Hall on State Road 84. But this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, outside Nobo Brewing. Go on and say hi. You won't be disappointed in the food because it is some of the best. Now, here's a question I had last week. He sometimes likes to play around. He's one of these creative chef types.
All right.
He made something last week that he posted blueberry mac and cheese. Thumbs
Um,
up or
Yeah, you
thumbs
mentioned
down?
that. Yeah, it sounds
What
like
do you think?
something that you would have in the
I
freezer.
have to try it, I guess.
Yeah.
I won't just assume it's bad, but it doesn't sound like something
Blueberry mac and cheese. Yeah, what do you think, Libby? Doesn't sound good.
I don't know. Okay,
I'm
how
sure
did
it's
he
great
say
because
it?
he
Was
made
he
it, but
joking? Like,
yeah.
okay, was
So,
there a reception about it? Like, what were some of the message? Like, I'm curious. I
well,
saw you
what
post something. I'm like, what the hell is that?
the question I had for him is how drunk / high / inebriated were
Yeah.
you when you came up with this concoction?
Yeah, but my thing is, okay, like in the
And
past, and I don't do this these days, but college, you grab waffles and ice cream and syrup and like jam and just
well, chicken
eat.
and waffles has become this thing.
Yeah, but
It's like
blueberries.
savory and sweet. Well, so here's how he explained it. He says like blueberries go really well with like Gruyere cheese, some of those Swiss and cheeses, and I said, yeah, I've had the fruit plates with cheese, but I don't know if I need to throw in a whole bucket of pasta on top of it. But he assures me, and again, it looked a little weird because I just think purple food is a little bit weird. I don't. Can you think of many foods that you eat that are purple?
Well,
Defo?
blueberries are good in oatmeal, though.
Maybe some
Very good.
blueberries.
Yes,
Okay.
they're
Although
great in
I
yogurt.
was looking for some the other day because I started to like switch up my breakfast pattern a little bit, and I've been like pre-making a bunch of oatmeal so I have it ready in the morning. And I was looking to infuse it with some blueberries, and I couldn't find any blueberries in the store. What are they out of season right now? Because
No, blueberries
there
are
were none
totally in
available. None.
season.
So,
0.0.
I don't know
oh,
where you shop.
you're
That
not
was at
pitching it
Publix.
right. You're not pitching
You're-
it right. If that's true, then that's a different story. That's more like, what is it? The Jewish,
Yeah, Kugels.
A blintz. Yeah.
logo.
Yes,
It's like a
yeah.
blintz.
Tom
That's a
T.
different
He
story.
he just
Farmer's cheese or cream cheese and a blueberry is like a cheesecake. That is very
Yeah.
different than freaking sharp cheddar and blueberry. Like that's
And
a
blueberries,
complete
yeah.
different.
Tom
It's
T.
like,
just
peanut
chimed
butter
in.
and jellyfish. I mean,
He
yeah.
chimed in. He chimed in that it's cream cheese and impastata. I don't even know what impastata is. I should
Sure it's a
lose my
noodle
food critics
pasta.
card. But so I guess he's going for like that noodle kugel thing. He just
Yes.
says it's.
All right.
And again, with noodle kugel, you'd have raisins. That gives the little sweet edge. I always hated noodle kugel with raisins. But I just like plain old mac and cheese. Look, he sent me all kinds of things. He had people try it and said it's delicious. He was putting up posts, and he promised that he would save me some. I don't know if it's in the freezer or not. It's not on the menu of his 1-year anniversary, which I guess we could give
It's a
our
limited
blessings for
item,
that.
available only in
No,
season.
I love Tom
Yes.
T. I'm just kind of kidding. I'm sure it tastes delicious, and it actually probably in a way does make some sort of sense to somebody after the massive consumption of gummies. But
Well, no, look, okay. My mom always did this, and to me, bagel cream cheese. I don't really mess with it. Once in a
Yeah.
while, and everything bagel with butter somehow does taste good. But my mom used to always do bagel cream cheese and jelly, right? Like a lot of people would do bagel cream cheese jelly. What's the difference between cream cheese and jelly and cream cheese and blueberries? That I can
There's
actually
nothing.
see.
No, okay. So
very
okay, you're down with it then. Then we will
Yes.
try it together. I'm sure it's
Well,
delicious. He's a great chef. Here, look at some of these classics he has on the menu this weekend, and it's got the New Orleans char grilled oysters, just like you get at Acme, your favorite.
Those look
restaurant.
great.
Yeah.
You know what? I saw the picture that Tom posted on Facebook, and I was thinking, at first I didn't see what the source was, so I just saw this picture of these oysters going on a grill, and I thought, wow, where's that? And sure enough, it was
Yeah.
Tom. And I'm thinking, wow, it would be worth the trip.
Yeah,
All the
it
way
is
up to
worth it.
Gateway.
I'll
It
even
would be
drive
worth a
you
little
up there.
jog there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing a
I'll
visit
drive you.
Lauderdale there. I'm down.
Does he do a jambalaya on this menu? Because that would be
Yes,
the
so
way to
I'm
go. A
about
little
to go
jambalaya
down.
and some
Yes,
grilled
New
oysters.
Orleans day
He's
food.
got the
Like, when is that
he's
day?
got the Cajun jambalaya, shrimp, chicken, andouille sausage.
That's
with
me,
the
yeah.
holy trinity of vegetables, seasoning, rice, and a rich homemade seafood stock garnished with green onions. He's got his award-winning duck andouille and gator sausage gumbo in a dark roux with duck stock, Louisiana sausage, gator sausage, Trinity, and seasoned blend over rice. That's a great dish. I don't think you know what? I've had some of his other gumbos, and I don't know if I had. Yeah, I did. I had a sample of it when I was with Dickstein. We paid a visit when he did one of his crawfish boils, which unfortunately crawfish season is over. And he does red beans and rice. His red beans and rice. Forget about best in South Florida. That's among the best red beans and rice I've had anywhere. Tom is a veteran chef. He's worked all over the place. He's originally from Hollywood. Spent a bunch of time in New Orleans. I think he worked for Emerald
Oh,
Lagasse
really?
and some
Does
others.
he sell this stuff in bulk to go? Because
Well,
that'll be the way to go.
He will package anything
Yeah,
you
all right.
want to go. Best way to enjoy it is eat it right there outside the brewery, and they're doing all kinds of brewing specials this weekend. And I'm giving him a lot of love. He's become a friend. We've done some eating together, and let me tell you, Defo, if
You can
think
throw
I
it down. Yeah.
this guy can throw it down. So I got to get you up there. Maybe we'll take
That
a
would be
field trip on
very
Sunday.
exciting.
I'll
Yeah,
be there.
yeah.
I'll tell
Is
you
there a
what,
beach nearby?
No,
where we
visit
can-
Lauderdale. They're
Yeah.
not so keen on it promoting places in Palm Beach, although he does come
it's-
down
it's
to
in
Fort
Fort
Lauderdale. So
Okay. Oh,
when
he's
he
in Fort Lauderdale.
when he does his next pop up on State Road 84 in Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah.
maybe we could tape a little edition there or do a little video segment. Yeah, we
let's
have
do it.
that capability now. We could
Let's
tape
do it.
things in advance and do
The whole idea of operating this as a food truck too is fascinating because
I love that.
it's high end stuff, and you can get a mixed bag of things coming from food trucks in general. You're assuming they're going to be somewhat special, but it's not always the case. And just the whole idea that he's conjuring up and cooking up all of these like great recipes where you could go to a restaurant on Bourbon Street and not get anything that's any better out of a food truck outside of a brewery. It's amazing what he's
No, it's
able
great.
to do.
And he's accompanied by the lovely Heather, his help. One of the his assistants that helps him prepare and serve all the food. And they've just done a great job. They built up this huge following. They have a big fan club now, and more power
Nice.
to him. And again, he thought he was retired, and every time he's out, they pull him back in. And he
It's a
explained
beautiful
that
thing.
impastata is actually ricotta. It's a ricotta impastata
it's
is what
cannolis, right?
cannolis are made of. Oh, of course. I mean,
So
if you
it's like
if you
an
said
Italian
ricotta,
kugel.
I would have known that, but I should
It's
know.
like an Italian
I
kugel
guess.
is what it feels like.
Come on, Mr. Food, you're slipping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm slipping. The Don is slipping. We all know it. Anyway, and it's also this weekend. Another great thing you can do is go check out our friends at Shenanigans. This is Shenanigans Friday. Pat Utter, they're
When's
getting
the
ready.
anniversary? We didn't miss it, did we?
So no. August
Okay.
20th is
Oh, okay,
actually
good.
the date they're going to be celebrating. He started up his original location across from TY Park, where you are very familiar with, right there on the corner of Sheridan Street and Park Road in Hollywood. August of 1992 is when it all began for Shenanigans, Pat Utter and his crew. And you want to go in there August 20th at both locations, because they also have the East Side location. That's 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. That opened in 2008. It's become my local when I want to go check out a game, or as I was moaning this morning on the show because my Dish network doesn't get Fox or some of the
I
local
think it's time for a
sports
change.
teams.
Mike.
Well,
I mean, it really is.
The
Just call
Marlins,
somebody.
it doesn't mean that much to me, especially when I have Shenanigans around the corner. And anytime I want to catch a Heat game or a Panthers game, and I never want to go catch a Marlins game, sorry, but anytime I want those things, I go right around the corner to Shenanigans East Side, check out all the great sports action along with the great food and drink. I mean, everything there is made fresh. He gets the freshest fish. I had a yellowtail snapper sandwich the last time I was out there. It was just utterly fantastic. So August 20th is going to be the day of the big celebration at both locations. There's also a Dolphins preseason game that night, 7 p.m. against the Raiders. Nice. And if you show up in Dolphins jersey or Dolphins paraphernalia, you will get a choice of either a free shot of Jameson's Orange or a free beer coming from the Vera Sur Brewery of
Nice.
Wynwood.
What if we show up with like Marino or Zach or
what if you
Jason
bring it?
Taylor?
What if
we bring a dolphin?
Maybe you'll get drinks on
Then
the
what do we
house
get?
all night. I don't know.
All right.
But for other people that show up
Okay.
before kickoff, you got to be there by 7 p.m. to get your freebie. And again, Vera Sur Brewing is creating this season a specialty Dolphins craft beer. I don't want to take any shots at the Dolphins, but it probably has a really strong start and then lingers and gets a little flat at the finish. But
no, it's been the opposite, right? They start out
Oh,
terribly
yeah.
and then
Ladies.
close with a rush.
It's
My friend.
been the
Yeah.
flip side of the Shula years. Now
Yeah.
we'll see what the new coach can do. And McDaniel, is that his name? Mike McDaniel?
Yes,
Do I
that's
have that right?
McDaniel,
See how
yeah.
much of a sports fan I am? I don't know what ricotta.
Well, you have to buy a
Instapata
TV
is or
set, Mayo. I
Impastata.
mean, first of all, get a TV that isn't just black and white, and then subscribe to cable. I mean, it's really a good thing.
The
Problem
problem
is
with
he
my
has to- he
TV,
needs to
it's
get off of
glued.
French toast.
It just is always on TVG, which it also you can find them on TVG at Shenanigans. Go into
sure.
Shenanigans, and again, August 20th, they're gonna have all kinds of specials all day. But you can get the freebies if you come in with the Dolphins paraphernalia that night, and there'll be also kinds of giveaways of T-shirts and things like that. Go to Shenanigans. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. We love Pat Utter and crew. Congrats on 30 years, 30 more.
Let me ask you a serious question here pertaining to racing. Are these tracks in the Midwest starting super early because of the heat wave? Is that the deal? Because they're
Yes.
already on like the
I wouldn't
third
doubt
race
it.
in
It's crazy there.
Kentucky.
Yes.
And, you're thinking they're an hour ahead of us in terms of time. So, they're starting their car.
They
at like
are making
11 o'clock.
accommodation for the heat, and it's funny because last night I was watching. I saw that some of the harness tracks they posted a notice that because of the heat, horses will be coming out with 0 minutes to post. Actually, it was a thoroughbred track, and that
Yeah.
they're not going to be doing full warm ups. And it's like, well, God forbid that it's so hot they should just cancel the whole card. But I guess
Well, and there's talk
have-
of that, though. They're a little
Yeah.
afraid in New Jersey, your
well, they
favorite
sh-
place at
Oh,
Monmouth.
really?
You know,
For
with
the
heat.
Haskell Day, it
With
would
a
be
big
a
Haskell,
shame.
yeah.
It
My
would
buddy,
be a
who
shame.
is the godfather of fun, a guy named Don O'Malley, who I saw last time I was in Atlantic City. This guy's a riot, and he's like the king of Monmouth Park in the picnic area. And also, he is one of the greatest ever at, my thing was always trying to get booze into a Panther game. I was always hoping that they would have a promotion like Plastic Flask Night, where you could get like a plastic flask you could disguise, and this way you could bring your own booze in, buy a club soda, even if it was $8, you still were beating the system because the drinks are like 30 a pop. And this guy's the king of it, the master of bringing, booze, which would be contraband, I guess, bringing it into Monmouth Park. And he already has 500 beers in his swimming pool ready for the people to
Wait,
accommodate.
how do you keep
their
500
desires.
beers cold? You just like that's.
He's
In the
got the
bowl,
bowl. I
it's
mean, it's
ice,
just
it's like a
ice.
bowl.
It's like an ice machine. And he's ready to go. He's ready to cater this whole thing for like 60, 70 people going to come out for the Haskell. And he was telling me, he called me yesterday. He said, I don't know. They might not run the thing because it's supposed to be like
Wow.
120 degrees outside.
Oh wow! If
Jesus.
Yeah.
they have to cancel, look, the safety of the horses and the jockeys
true.
are
Yeah.
a paramount thing. And if they have to push it back a week, everybody will.
Won't affect me, but it might, it might be tough to keep the ice going for that long in the pool for O'Malley. All right, coming back with more. I mean, I want to know what you're obviously you're already lined up for a couple of great meals on the weekend, Mike Mayo. So we'll see where Mike
It's
Mayo's
what I do.
eating lunch. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. What a life you're living. Back with more on Mike Mayo's Friday edition of the Lunchbox in a moment.
You like really good seafood, but maybe not in a fancy place? Even Keel Fish Shack. That's the place for you. I know it's the place for me, too. It's at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. It is a place for elevated food in a casual beachfront setting. They have good drinks. They got a great vibe. Chef owners, Brad and Dave, they come from a fine dining background. They had the original Even Keel Fish in Fort Lauderdale, but they moved over to this place in the last year. It is perfect. They're open every day for lunch and dinner. They also have brunch Friday through Sunday at noon. They have drink specials every day. They have happy hour 4 to 7 Monday through Friday. Some of the greatest deals around. You get the grilled oysters, 4 of them for $5. You can't beat that. All their food, the grilled octopus, the bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls. They have fish specials. They also have burgers and hot chicken sandwiches for the landlubbers out there. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack. Tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. If you're looking for an honest place with great food and tremendous value, Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria is the place for you. It's in Pompano Beach at 1940 Northeast 49th Street. It's just west of Federal Highway, just north of Sample Road, and it has not become my spot for Greek specialties like gyros, souvlaki, spinach pies, and pastitsio, that's the Greek lasagna, and also thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza. You got to go try some of their specialty pies like the gorgonzola and spinach. Oh, it's worth a special trip. Costa is a great guy. He has Queens, New York roots, but he's been in business in Broward for a long time. He's a great guy. He'll throw a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like long-lost relative. Costas is open every day for lunch and dinner. They're on all the major delivery apps. You can also dine in or take out. Go to Costas Greek Eatery and Pizza, where everyone is family. Hey, it's Mike Mayo for my friends at Visit Lauderdale.
This summer, enjoy the good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale with Lauder Deals. Great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and more all summer long. Start planning your summer getaway online at visitlauderdale.com/deals and see all the ways you can save. From miles of golden beaches to food and drink specials to pampering at celebrated resorts, your dream summer vacation awaits. Shop Lauder Deals now at visitlauderdale.com/deals. And we're back on the Lunchbox. It's a Friday. I could hear the bugle sounding somewhere, like Saratoga. Did not look at the card today. Yesterday, I think you sent me a little screenshot of, was it Barzini was the name of a horse? I love any
Barzini
Godfather.
all along. Yeah, the horse ran third. Yeah, was,
I love any Godfather named horse.
I do as well. Yeah,
it
you had
was,
to pay attention to it.
It was a chalky day, milk and magnesia day at the spa yesterday, which I'm glad. Get that out of the way in the middle of the week when I'm not playing or paying attention. Give me all those bombers on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be just happy. And the crew at Cafe Seville, I'm sure, are going to be keenly attuned to all the racing action this weekend. Joey and crew, we love them at Cafe Seville, not only for their stuffed veal chop and the great seafood, but also that's a place you'll also find TVG on all the time because he's paying attention to the late pick fives usually. And so talking about Godfather name horses, one of my favorite ones, I think it's still running. They Shot Sonny. So that's a good name for a horse. And James Caan, rest in peace, right?
Yeah, he checked out. A friend of mine took down 42 dimes in a dead pool when it was a friend of a friend. $42,000 in a dead pool when James Caan checked out, which that thing was a carryover for, I believe, over a year. That particular pool. I don't know that anybody had him in the dead pool that I participate in, and Ivana Trump obviously was a surprise, and I don't think she was on too many lists either. But 42,000 when James Caan checked out. You will never forget his career after copping 42 dimes in cash. Can't say where the transaction took place because obviously there would be various investigations triggered by that. The local government officials and law enforcement probably don't take kindly to this form of gambling going on illegally. But nice haul there, Mike Mayo. I mean, if a guy's going to die and you want to remember him, no more favorable way than to realize that you cashed for 42 dimes. A good friend of ours also made like 40 grand on a dead pool when Peter Graves surprisingly checked out from the Mission Impossible television show. And
I don't know where these pools are existing or how they're funded or how
you don't get around much, man. All you do is go to restaurants. You got to start hanging out in the hood, my friend.
You kick in $100 for every name that you put down, or how's that?
It's a draw. In the case of the pool I'm in, it's a $50 a month draw. You get two names. Whenever you redraw, and then you have those names until somebody hits it.
Okay.
So I've been all around it. I mean, I've drawn names of guys that have checked out later, but the pool was hit in the interim. So I no longer had like Tommy Lasorda I had for a while. Had a couple of others, that also passed away shortly after the pool had flipped and I had already drawn new names.
What would you do, Defo, if you ever drew yourself? That would be a little bit...
Well, I mean, it could happen. That can only happen in the mind of Rod Serling, another Syracuse alum. But, that was probably the all-time classic. I would imagine it would be one of your favorite episodes of the Twilight Zone as well. I don't know if... You were there when these shows were, or watching TV when these shows originally aired.
Yeah, when I was a youth.
The guy that was the racetrack degenerate, and he was getting tomorrow's paper. Okay, so now all of a sudden he was a loser his whole life. He was a downtrodden. Everybody laughed at him when he gave out a selection. Now he's winning every race, and whatever amount of money he wants to put on these horses, it's all good. And it's happening day after day. He couldn't be any happier. He's living a dream. He's got babes. He's got everything. He's revived his entire enthusiasm for life. And then one day, everybody's looking for him at the track because he's giving out nothing but winners. And he's not around. And they got a scene like towards the end of the day at a racetrack where like the papers are blowing and stuff, when people used to leave like just an awful mess of newspaper trash by the rail there. And sure enough, the page flips. And it's the obituary column, and that guy's name was in it.
There you go.
And that was it. Serling. Only in the mind of Serling could think of
for your consideration.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, speaking of good-looking, like kind of the freaky, not supernatural, whatever. That new Jordan Peele movie is opening today. Nope. And I really like his stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He used to be on that.
No,
sketch
Emma
comedy.
Peel. Yeah.
No. Well, you got to check this out because this
Get
guy's
Out was great.
mind is really, really. Yeah, Get Out was great. I missed his last one. I think it was something.
I didn't
Up,
see it.
Anyway, his new one, Nope, is out. It's getting really big critical praise. I might go check it out. It's about a family that moves into the, I guess, wilderness, and they're raising horses or something. And next thing you know, it's kind of like a Close Encounters of the Third Kind thing. They're visited by some extraterrestrials. But anyway,
Aliens. Wow.
it looked really interesting. And the guy has a very he's
Very
a very creative type. So I'm looking forward to checking out Nope at some point. And
Now,
did
what
I
do you
wanna
grab when
say?
you go to the movies? What were you going to the candy counter there? What are you getting, Mike Mayo? Are you getting a hot dog at the movies? You getting the popcorn with the butter
I'd love
you put
to
on
get.
yourself?
I have a little
Nachos.
bit of popcorn. Usually somebody else gets it. I can't. I've had some diverticulitis issues, and the one thing I really avoid is popcorn. Even though I love it, especially that fresh buttered popcorns at the
Yeah.
movie, it's just if I have too much of it, it could cause some major pain. So yeah, I usually go for the Raisinets or the Snow Caps. I'm kind of a
Raisinets. Wow.
candy
Not
guy.
too many people getting
sometimes.
Raisinets
Hey,
anymore.
And yesterday was junk food day. I forgot you weren't on, and so I wanted to ask you because I asked Nikki Mohan.
Yeah.
It was National Junk Food Day. So, what is your favorite junk food?
Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, depends what,
Twinkies?
somebody. No, I'm not a Twinkie guy. I mean, back in the day, I used to eat a lot of sweets like that, and I would eat anything. And of those, the Malamar was number one, probably. The Malamar cookie when it came in the twin boxes, and you could eat both of them very easily at one sitting. They had what? I guess they were called moon pies.
Moon pies are good.
Those were
I
pretty
like ring
good.
dings. Yeah,
Ring
Nikki
dings,
was
devil
on the.
dogs. Yeah, devil dogs were good. A
So
little
you're on
dry,
the
the devil dog.
sweet. You're on
Well,
the
if that was the category, but I saw something posted on this somewhere, or wherever it was suggested, and people were saying like hummus and pita bread was like
No,
junk food.
that's not junk
I don't.
food.
I consider that like health food. What are you
Junk
talking?
food is anything that's highly processed that comes in a bag or packaging that can last
Cheetos would be the
deteriorating
number one.
for
Cheetos.
6 months. So if something is lasting
Sweets.
6 months or
Maybe
more, that's junk food.
Maybe
And
fast
Cheetos,
food.
but don't be doing any work while you're eating Cheetos. We had a guy that was eating a bag of Cheetos, working on some very expensive leased video equipment that we had when we were doing the racing report. And this guy comes in the first day, and then everything was orange after that. Like the entire keyboard on the computers, all of the cameras, everything turned orange. But Cheetos would be high up there on the list, although very prohibitive. I mean, you really have to, make a deal with the devil if you're going to, indulge in a batch of Cheetos at this stage of life.
there you go. Yeah, and Doritos can be just equally as orange and incandescent forming. Hey, it's time to talk about something.
Well, what was yours? I mean, yours was
Yeah,
the Twinkie?
potato chips. If
Potato
you know,
chips, all right.
I like good old fashioned the Cape Cod thick crunchy potato chips with the salt.
What
and
about
vinegar.
Wise? Were you a fan of Wise potato
Yeah, no.
chips?
My
They used
mom
to be
loves
my
the
favorite,
basic
yeah.
Lay's, the very thin ones. I used to have Wise.
I didn't like
as a
Lay's
kid.
as much.
Yeah,
Honestly,
all right.
Wise was
Wise
always
and
number
Lay's are
one.
the same thing. I got to tell you, but
Not really.
okay.
No. I would
Not
disagree
really.
1,000%
I don't want to
on that.
argue
Yeah.
with you. I want to talk about something that is most decidedly not junk food, and that's Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop.
There you
my
go.
friend.
Now you're talking.
Quinn lobsters available tonight, like they are every weeknight, Monday through Friday. $35 gets you two beautiful Maine whole lobsters, steamed fresh for you. And you also get a salad and a side dish. That's one of the many reasons I love Tropical Acres. Great value, great hospitality, great service. The Studio Alley family, they've been doing it a long time. The place has been there since 1949, older than Defo. Great place for steaks, seafood, and so much more. They also have the Butcher Shop open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. if you want to run in and get some steaks and sides for a home cookout this weekend. And of course, the dining room opens at 4:30 every day, starting with the early bird special and happy hour in the bar. Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95 in the airport in Old Dania Beach. Tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
All right. Do we have a date yet, Lubie? Did your basketball team lose? When are we going to Tropical Acres for the Panther game?
This week is my last week, so after this
Okay.
week, we
All
can do
right.
whenever you
So
guys
maybe
want.
next
Following Monday.
next week sometime.
Let's pencil in a week from
Yeah.
Monday. A week
Following
from
Monday.
Monday would be
Monday's
good
a
to
tough
me.
one for me, as you know.
Oh, well,
I know you
then
want to take advantage of that half-price wine
have
night,
to
but
do
I
that.
always
I'll
want to take
chip
that.
in for the other half of the wine because it's reasonably priced anyway.
Well, maybe a week from Tuesday. So
Tuesdays
let's
and
see.
Thursdays are year-round off for me, but Mondays and
Yeah.
Wednesdays after this week.
Tuesday, no good either, man. I'm out there on the
Wait,
courts, man, trying
You
to.
guys are killing me.
pretend
You know what?
I'm an
I'll
athlete.
send you a ham sandwich, and we'll call it a done, settled bet.
We offered a pizza spot substitution there for lunch one day, but you haven't.
No, I'll do that. I'll do Costas.
That's
Whatever.
fine. That
You know,
sounds
we'll
nice.
figure it out. I want to get this done, but I was envisioning half price wine, a couple of lobsters, some.
Oh no,
fillets.
good
I mean,
stuff. No,
I'm a
that would be the
man-
way to go. It should be a celebration like that. It
We'll
really.
get
I'm
should.
a man of
High end.
not wealth and taste, but a man of taste. And you don't need wealth at Tropical Acres because there's such good deals there all week long. So
And
go
no
check
one
it
could
out.
say that you're a welcher. No one could say
There you
that
go.
because
That's it.
I believe you will pay up eventually.
All
All right, coming back with more. Wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox in a moment.
When people come to me and say, Mike, where's a great place for dinner? I got friends visiting from out of town. Where am I going to take them? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It is a Fort Lauderdale perennial. They serve the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly setting. Service there is impeccable. Joey Esposito and his better half, Sally, they've been running the place for more than 2 decades. It's been there since the 1980s. It has some great food. They just recently expanded. They have a great bar. You could sit there if you're by yourself. You go in there with a date or your better half, and you can have a nice, cozy table for 2. You can go in with a big group and have a great festive time. They have great sangria. They have paella. They have shrimp with garlic sauce. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. It's open Monday through Saturday at 5 p.m. for dinner. They are closed on Sundays, but please go to Cafe Seville. You won't be disappointed. Tell them Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like wings? Do you like burgers? Do you like ribs? Do you like late night food? All this and more at Shenanigans. There's 2 locations. East side is at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. And then there's the original in Hollywood, right across from TY Park on Sheridan Street. Pat Utter and his crew, they've been doing it a long time, almost 30 years, and they do a great job. It's a neighborhood place with a casual feel, really good food, good value. They have drink specials every day, beer, coldest on draft. Anytime that you want, the late night food, the kitchen is going until past midnight, both locations. They have outdoor dining if you need it too. Shenanigans is my place to go. You could also call up for pickup right through a drive-through window on the east side. That's at 954-923-3008, 954-923-3008 for your takeout, pickup. Go to Shenanigans and tell them Mayo and Defo sent you.
Mike Mayo back here on the Lunchbox to wrap up another week. I can't believe it's almost the end of July, and here we keep going. In our last minute, I just wanted to briefly say, well, Sarney was all eager for us to talk about the world's best 50 restaurant list. It was released yesterday. I say bah humbug to that because the whole thing is skewed and messed up, and it's they favor Europeans. And how can you rank every restaurant in the world? Can you really get around to all the? I don't know, but so but congratulations to the place in the. It was Copenhagen that was the first ranked number 1 in the world this week. Geranium. And I guess there's a rule change that all the previous number 1s are no longer eligible. So I don't know how you go from being number 1 to not even in the top 50, but I guess you just retired and just considered one of the best in the world once you hit that number 1 spot. Noma in Copenhagen was number 1 last year. Seems to be Copenhagen is big on the frou food.
Well, they're smoking a lot of weed
list,
before they
but
go into the restaurants.
Yeah, but in any event, no, and I just was going to add one local list. You know how we're talking about places I've never been in Broward, and we're going to eventually, I guess, maybe have a week or something. Or I'll go around and just write about it on the Let's Eat group. But the 5th one, it came to me, a place up in Coral Springs that's been around for a while, Cook and the Cork. I don't know if you ever heard of Cook
Shirley
and the
loves
Cork.
that place. Shirley loves it.
Okay, it's supposedly great. Friends of mine that have lived up in the northwest corner always told me to go there, and I haven't made it in there yet. So that's on my list, and we'll go over one of these days. We'll get everybody's top 5 of places they've never been that have been around a while. Put that one out on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group. But meanwhile, that's it. Everybody have a great weekend. If you're around, come on out to the Foundry for our taping of a show tomorrow at 2 p.m. with Lubie, Shirley, and maybe Defo. For the rest of the crew here, have a great weekend. It's Mike Mayo and telling everybody to remember to enjoy every sandwich.